Queen Mary 2, a flagship ocean liner on which a round-the-world trip can cost anywhere between $39,000 and $447,000 per person. At the time of her construction in 2003, she was the longest, widest and tallest passenger ship ever built, and now she's in Auckland. We sent Emma Keeling down for a tour because we're too tight to send her away on a trip. And Em, I think she's behind you there. Oh, yeah, she's a very big girl indeed, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a bit bigger than my head, as you can see, which is quite fortunate. But, I mean, just stunning, really. And it's actually caused quite a few traffic jams this morning and a few nose-to-tails, unfortunately, along the waterfront here. But it's so big, it couldn't fit on Princess Wharf, which is where all the other cruise ships usually go. But this is an ocean liner, and it's 50 metres too long to fit on Princess Wharf, so here it is sitting at Jellicoe Wharf instead.
Em, you've been on it today. What is it like on board? Does it always feel like you're on a ship, or does it sometimes feel you're in a shopping mall or something completely different from a ship?
Yeah, there's lots of little corridors you go through, but the only difference is these are very, very long corridors. This ship is 345 metres long, 23 stories high. It's quite incredible to be on. You know, you go through a little corridor and then boom, there you are in the planetarium, or boom, you're there in the ballroom. It just comes out of nowhere to you. And it's got different colour-coded carpet, so you know where you are on the ship. You get completely lost. My feet are killing me. I should have worn sneakers today. But fortunately, there's 10 restaurants and quite a few bars. So if you get a bit pooped, you can sit down, have a bit of a refresh, and pop back out again. But I only managed to see 10% of the ship today, but fortunately I had a camera with me, and so we can give you a little look-see inside.
It's very imposing. Wherever port you're in, you just look at her and it just dominates the skyline. It doesn't matter whether it's New York, Southampton or some of the smaller Caribbean islands. She's one of a kind.
So here we are, and it's ginormous, and I think we're about to go on and see the Commodore. He is the master of the ship, and we're going to have a cup of tea just to ease our way in.
We're expecting you.
So here we're in the Commodore Lounge. The bar's not open, so we're having a cup of tea. No silver will be going in my bag, I promise you. See, they know me too well here already. And it's Wedgwood. I don't know if I can fit an entire set in the handbag. And I've got a little hors d'oeuvre. I think I can get used to this. To give you some idea of the size of this ocean liner, it's actually longer than the Auckland Harbour Bridge. And if you stand it on its end, it's actually 17 metres taller than the Sky Tower. That's big.
Power-wise, we're about 180 megawatts of power. Now, that's enough to power a city about the size of Southampton. So, a very, very, very powerful ship. Biggest floating power plant in the world.
Oh, no. They haven't cleared us. We're not cleared.
Doesn't work. Do you have one?
Here we go. Look at that. Oh, bouncy. Good bed. Good quality. Let's have a look at this carpet. I don't know about you, but I don't know if I'm... It's kind of a cheetah orange. It's nice though. Look, you run up and down the balcony. You can imagine Captain Steubing up the top. Hi. Coming on down. You need to be fit, don't you? Walking up and down these hallways.
You do, actually. I think a lot of people lose some weight when they're on this ship because they walk the length of the ship so many times. Shall we take the elevator or the stairs? 6 decks.
Oh, let's go elevator. Who wants to do stairs? And it's good because you've got the mirrors so you can check out your hair before you go to the ballroom.
A lot of people do that, yes.
Wow.
We are in the ballroom.
Look at this.
The largest dance floor at sea. And this is the Queen's room, so we do find enough pictures of her here because it is her room. It's the Queen's room.
Cool. Let's go and see the disco.
Yeah, let's go
I hope
see
you've
it.
got a glitter ball in there. Yeah. Listen to that music in the disco.
They like it loud in here.
Yeah, not really disco music. And you've got a padded pole in case you sort of...
What?
When you're pulling a move and it gets a little out of control. And you're not... Oh, she'll be thrilled with this. Brilliant, brilliant. The whole sort of the size of everything on this ship. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. How do you keep track of everything?
You know, there's that old management saying that if you want to eat an elephant, do it a mouthful at a time, and I think that's what we do here, that we try and break the jobs down into their individual components.
So how many meals are you serving a day?
Oh, thousands. It's about 16,000 a day if you take the crew meals.
So this is Britannia Restaurant. This is the largest of our restaurants.
Look at that.
Seats over 1,100 people.
1,100?
And that big table in the middle, that's the Commodore's table when he hosts formal evenings. This is the Royal Court Theatre
Royal
right here.
Court Theatre, okay. And what kind of shows will we be seeing?
Well, we have a production cast on board, 12 dancers and 4 singers. They have 6 different shows, the one that's on right now. And if we have celebrity lecturers, we've had John Cleese on board, we've had Dr. Ruth on board, you know. They'll go in here because they're so popular. So here we are, the Queen Mary II Library. 60 cabinets, I believe, full of books.
60 cabinets. Where's the Mills and Boone? You know it's in here somewhere.
Every time we sail away from anywhere, including this evening, we'll have a deck sail away party. We'll be out here dancing, line dancing, just with music.
Line dancing.
We have a Caribbean band that plays.
We won't hold it against you. Line dancing to a Caribbean band, you say? Wow.
This is a typical liner area because it's our promenade deck, and it'll remind you of the original Queen Mary and of the liners of old times.
Oh, look, they're comfy too. Good padding. Where's that? Is the harbour bridge over there? Devonport. Oh, look, there's our one frigate. It's sad when an ocean liner is bigger than our entire Navy fleet. Yes, it is rather impressive and a lot bigger than pretty much anything around here. But I have a very special guest with me. You heard the love theme song there. And I've got the Commodore of the Queen Mary II, Bernard Warner. Thank you for joining us. And you actually have a little bit of a history with the Love Boat. You were actually commander of one of the boats that featured in the show.
Yes, in actual fact, about 10 years ago, I was in command of the Pacific Princess itself. And had the pleasure of the company of Captain Stubing and all his team. So
Really?
those were exciting days. But we've moved on from that. And here we are now on probably the greatest ocean liner in the world, the Cunard Line, Queen Mary II.
Now, why are you called Commodore? Why are you not called Captain?
Well, it is a little confusing, and it's sometimes easier just to be called Captain. But actually, in fact, Commodore means the senior captain in the Cunard fleet. It means I'm getting rather old.
So you're in charge of it, and you've got the biggest boat to be in charge of, the biggest ship, the ocean liner. Now with the recession on now, you would think that, not many people would go on a cruise ship, but you're still pretty busy.
Well, I'm very happy to tell you that we have 2,500 guests on board the ship at the moment. We're on a round-world voyage. We left Fort Lauderdale in Florida just about 6 weeks ago, and we've come south through the Caribbean, through Rio de Janeiro, around Cape Horn, which was a magnificent experience for all the guests on board. Probably a little bit disappointed because it was a flat, calm sea. In fact, so calm we could do a little spin and off Cape Horn.
Now you're just showing off. Now, do you actually feel any waves or any wake on the boat? Surely not.
Well, every ship moves to a certain extent, but being an ocean liner, she is designed for the ocean. So she is... if you compared us to a cruise ship, we have 40% more steel in the hull. We have a very long bow, a deep draft, that's a lot beneath the waterline, and a beautifully streamlined hull, so we move gracefully through the water, and great stabilizers. So even in a 5 or 6 metre swell, there's very little movement on the ship at all.
Now, we've dragged the Commodore away from dinner. He hasn't even had an entree yet. But tell us, just on board, the amount of people you have, I mean, it must be huge fun. I mean, do you actually... Look, I've seen your table, the Commodore's table. How do you get on that?
You have to know the Commodore. No, well, we have a nice big table in the Britannia restaurant. I don't actually go to the restaurant and dine every night on this 5-star food. But I do try to get down there on formal evenings, and we have a table for about 12 guests, and we have a lot of fun. The ship is magnificent in itself. You were talking today about the facilities on board. I think one of the great things is that many of our guests, besides going to see great West End shows, can also actually dance. We have the largest ballroom at sea in the Queen's Room, and that is really something to see on a special gala night with all our guests out there having a whale of a time.
Well, I'm going to have to leave that for another time. My bank balance isn't quite up to it. But thank you very much, Commodore, for joining us. They're leaving tonight at 10 p.m. off to Sydney. Very short trip, but it's been a fantastic day and a wonderful sight. Thank you very much.